Alright, so in this section, we are going to further drill down into the key features that we can add into a chart. So let's start by adding another value here, and that is for profit and loss. So if I have to show my profit and loss as well in the same chart, I will just drag it here into the profit and loss. And now you can see that Excel has added another line beside the previous blue line, and this new line is for profit and loss. And one more thing, if you just drag over the bar here, you will see that the numbers have been added with decimals and there is no comma separator, so we should fix that as well. And the best way to fix that should be click here and go to value field settings, and then click on number format, number, and no decimal, and use comma separator, and OK. Now you can see that if I press OK here, this all of this has been fixed. In fact, this has not been fixed. So let me go back again. I think I missed some step, and number format, and yes, this should actually be 0, and click OK and OK. So you can see that this has been fixed. And now if you will scroll over this bar here, you can see that number is appearing in much decent format, and you can actually see that. So I don't really need this profit column here, so I want to remove this now. I just wanted to show you how this can work actually. So I will just drag and remove the profit column now. So what we need to do next is that I really need to show the state as well in the same chart. So in the same chart, I want to show the country as well as state. So I will just bring this state from here to here, and you can see that your chart has now been broken down into 3 different tabs, and in each tab you can see the state as well. So in the country you have 3 states: California, OR, and WA. In Mexico you have, I think, 6 states. Yes, there are 6. And in Canada you only have 1. And you can also see that which states in which countries are performing the best. And now what I want to do next is that I want to bring in city as well. And if I do that, you will see that now this is quite, the data has been quite haphazard. So we can actually see that what is happening. So in each country there are different states. You can see that by different tabs, and each tab you can see that there are different cities that are available there. So this chart is really good. You can really see that which cities are the best. But when it comes to country and when it comes to state, this chart is not representing quite this is not telling much to us. So what I really need to do is that I need to explore further options that what we can do with this chart. So I will now drag the city from here to legend, and you can see that now you have the countries and then you have the states, and in each state you have very small lines, and they are not very meaningful. So what I need to do now is that I want to change the chart type. So I will keep myself in the bar chart. I will go here in the analyze in the design tab, and I will click on this change chart type. And in this chart type, what I want to do is that I want to bring this chart which has basically components, which these have bars, but these bars then have components. So I want to click on that, and I will click OK. And now you can see that in each of the country, if I just focus on America for now, in USA you have 3 states, and in each state the city has been broken down by a color. So if you just scroll over that, you can see that which city we are looking at right now, and then in which state or which city, which country this is falling in. So personally I find this very decent chart, and this is very helpful. But for the purpose of this dashboard that I'm going to make today, I will not be using this chart here, but I will move to a separate chart for each country, and then state, and then a city. But let me show you one more thing before I move forward. What if I drag the city from here to this axis here? And you can see that this component bar chart is not working anymore. So to make the component bar chart effective, what you have to do is that you have to bring this city from here to legend, and your chart will now be a component bar chart. But anyways, for the purpose of this dashboard, I'm not going to be using it. If this was just for the purpose of demonstration, so I'm going to delete all of this and in fact, I would not delete the chart. I would just delete this legend from here, and I would just delete this state from here. And now we have our original bar chart back. It is not broken down by components right now. The reason is very simple, because there is no data to break it by components. So I will just stick with this for now. Now I would need to do is that I need to bring in the charts for a state as well, and then separate chart for city as well. And I will have to do that on separate sheet. Well, we can do that on this sheet as well by just copying this data from here to here, so we have a separate pivot table. But I would rather prefer to have a separate sheet for this new data. So what I need to do is that first of all I will rename this. I will say this is my country, and now I will copy and paste this sheet one more time. So the simplest way of doing that will be click on this sheet here, and now press the Control key, and you will see that there's a plus sign there now, and then come here and leave the plus and the click. So you will have to leave the click first, and then you will click the arrow and the Control key, and you will have a separate sheet. So let me do it one more time. I will click on this, and I will press Control key, and I will leave it here. Now I want to rename this as a state, because I will be making a state level chart here, and I want to rename this as city. Now let me go to the state level chart, and in this state level chart I will just click here to get my panel back, and I will bring in state, and I will remove the country, and now you can see that we have the complete chart, the similar chart, but by the state now. So I just have to do one more thing. I will click here and I will say sort from largest to smallest, so that we have data in a proper order. And I think this chart is ready, so I will just have to change the heading, total sales by state. And one more thing that I want to do is that I want to go to the next sheet now, and I want to remove this country from here and bring in city instead of the country. And again we have to sort the data from top to the bottom, from largest to the smallest. Now one thing that maybe bothering you is that we have separate charts on each of the different parameters, city, state and country. How we are going to compile them in one sheet? Well, that is what we are going to do that in the next lecture.